Hi guys! So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Q&A. I've never done one of these before, so bear with me. But I asked on my Instagram for you guys to send me some questions that you had about crafting or anything really in general, but they're mostly all about crafting. Yay! So I'm just going to go through some of these questions and hopefully I have the answers. So the first question that I got a lot, and I get this a lot too, is how did I start out my crafting business? So first of all, I don't really have a business per se. I started out obviously wanting to make things to sell for people, but I really have gotten into more of doing the tutorials and working on my YouTube channel and more showing people how to do things, which kind of aligns better with me and kind of my purpose. So a little bit about me, because I don't share too much about my personal life, so I live in Southern California. I have a full-time job and I work for a city, and I work in training and development. So training and kind of teaching is just one of my things that I've been able to hone over the years. So I think that's why I like doing tutorials so much and helping people. I first bought my Cricut back in October of 2017, I think, and I literally bought it, or wait, was it 2008? No, it was 2017. And I literally bought it because one of my best friends was getting married and I wanted to make these champagne flutes, and I wanted to do etching on them. And so originally I was like, okay, I found this tutorial on Pinterest where I was just gonna use like little stickers, and my mom was like, well, that's not gonna work. So after doing a lot of research, I didn't even really know what a Cricut was, and then I found that I can make a stencil with the Cricut. So I pulled the trigger and I went and bought a Cricut and had literally no clue what I was doing. I bought it, got it home, and thought I was just gonna like bust out these stencils, and I was so wrong. It was the hardest learning curve. I basically spent like 3 hours on YouTube trying to figure out how to even use the machine. So long story short, so that's basically how I got started. And then I had a friend who posted something on Facebook one day, like this canvas, and I was like, I could totally make that with my Cricut, not knowing if I actually could. And I ended up making it, and now I'm here doing YouTube videos, and I've been so fortunate for everybody who's been supporting me and following me and liking my videos. It's really super surreal to be partnering with Auntie Tay, who I literally learned from, and now I'm partnering with her and she sends me product, and it's just wonderful. So that's how I got started. I literally got started because I was like, I really wanted to make something, and I just kind of learned from YouTube and videos and other things like that. So the next question, so I'm going off this, next question I got was, do I seal my mugs and cups, and what material do you use? So for mugs and cups, I usually use, or I always use 651 vinyl or any other permanent vinyl. And so I personally don't seal them. You don't really need to seal them if you're using permanent vinyl, and if you kind of follow the washing directions. So if you're using permanent vinyl, obviously no dishwasher, no microwave, no soaking, just a gentle wash. So I personally don't seal them, but I know a lot of other people use epoxy or things like that. I just haven't dabbled in that just yet. So the answer is no, I don't seal my stuff. Okay, this is a good question. So I'm new to Cricut and I want to start doing t-shirts. What do I need to make a t-shirt? T-shirts seem really intimidating, or clothing in general. When I first started out, I didn't even want to think about using heat transfer vinyl because I thought I needed a heat press. I thought I needed all this fancy stuff, but really all you need is a heat source. And until I got this beautiful thing, I just used my iron, and I still have it right over here. I just used my iron, and all you need, so you need heat source, you need heat transfer vinyl or iron-on, so whatever you're comfortable with. And then you just need some kind of like parchment paper or Teflon to put in between the iron-on carrier sheet and your irons. And then you need a shirt or whatever you're pressing it to. So iron-on and t-shirts are actually, or clothing in general, are super easy, super simple to do. The pegboards, where did I find my pegboards back here? They're seriously so cute. I'm obsessed with them. IKEA, and I'll link them below, but I got them at IKEA. They're a little pricey because they're plastic and they come with all of the stuff to you know, hang it. Actually, no, that's a lie. It doesn't come with the screws. I learned that the hard way. But yeah, IKEA, one of my most favorite purchases. So what's the best way to store little scraps of paper and cardstock? So I don't know if the way I do it is that great. Let me show you what I do. So this is basically all my cardstock scraps. It's not very, you know, it's not very organized or clean, but this is just kind of where I put all of my scraps or stuff that's like been cut that I'm gonna want to save. And I encourage you guys to save your scraps. Save. You know, there's been so many things where, you know, I need like a certain color to cut out like a tiny little circle or something, and it's been nice to come to this little guy here because I have so many colors in here of scraps. So this is how I store them. This is just from Michael's. It's a scrapbook case. I'll link it below. I think I got this on sale for like $3 or something, so it's not expensive at all. And then how I store my vinyl scraps is even more embarrassing. I literally just have them in plastic bags. So you can see this is vinyl scraps. These are my HTV scraps here. So I don't have a better way to do this, so sorry about that. But it works for me. This is fun. I like this. Okay, so what are some fun ways teachers can use a Cricut to design their classroom? Okay, I'm not a classroom teacher, but my good friend Brittany, she's also a crafter, and she is a teacher. So I know you could do tons of stuff, especially with cardstock and paper. You can make banners, you can make shapes, you can make t-shirts, you could do, I almost wish I was a teacher so I could utilize my crafts more, but there's so much stuff you could do with your Cricut if you're a teacher. I would just search on Pinterest, and I'm sure the amount of things you can do are endless. Where do you find the time to work and craft? Well, with the time change, it has kind of forced me to not craft after work because I have like no lighting. So like right now I have this nice, beautiful, natural light coming in. This is when I like to film the best. But you know, after like 5 p.m. there's like no light. So I don't really craft after work, but you know, I just use my weekends, I plan, I use my planner to schedule out like when I have deadlines or things like that. It is very challenging working full-time and trying to also find time to craft, but somehow I've just made it happen. And you know, and I don't have children yet, so that's probably you know, a factor. I'm sure once I have kids, my craft time will get even smaller. But for now, I just try to make the time, and honestly too, being honest with your deadlines. Like if you have somebody that is asking you for a product, or they need you to make something and turn it around really quick, I mean, like, be honest. Like, do you have time to make it? Because I would rather tell them, you know, I can't turn that around as quick as you want, but this is when I can turn it around, rather than, you know, rush something or miss the deadline that I've originally promised. So that's just me. I don't have a good answer to that, unfortunately. How to organize a small craft room when you have way too much crafting supplies and machines. I just did a video yesterday and I did a craft room tour of all of this. So literally this is just a corner of me and my boyfriend's bedroom. So I have to build up, you know, and I have stuff stored under here too, but check out that video and I show you everything, how I store, because I have a printer, I have 2 Cricuts, I have a humongous easy press. Literally every inch of this corner is filled, so you just have to get creative. What printer is this? This is the HP DeskJet, oh geez, HP DeskJet 3755, 3755. I got this off Amazon. I'll link it below. It was like 80 bucks, maybe 60. I don't remember, but I had a gift card. It's inexpensive and it works. It's a good printer, and it's relatively compact too. So for a small space, it works. Best way to store rolls of Cricut vinyl with space and budget in mind. Girl, I got you. Right here. Right here. These are all they are. I don't know if you can see them. They're just plastic bag holders from IKEA. They're literally $3. You can store 2, 4, 6, 7. You can store 14 rolls of vinyl in here. None of mine have the cardboard like roll in them because I buy most of mine bulk from 651. But yeah, the best. The only disclaimer that I give with these is they come with these like adhesive stickies on the back, so you're just supposed to like stick it to a wall, which in theory would work if you were only putting plastic bags in it. However, with all the vinyl rolls, it gets really heavy, and I literally had one crash down in the middle of the night. It scared the crap out of Joe and I. So what I did was I took all the vinyl out and I just drilled holes. It also has like two little holes where you can, you know, drill through so you can attach it to the wall. And that's what I ended up doing because they're really heavy with all of this vinyl. So good question. Okay, and so the last question I got is, what kind of paint do I use for my doormats? I've only made one doormat, full disclosure, but what I used for it was Flex Seal. I think you can get at Home Depot. I'll link it below. It's that stuff that you like spray to like patch holes. But it's water resistant, so I saw a lot of people on Facebook and social media using it, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it has seemed to hold up. I gave it to my boyfriend's parents to see, so I could kind of like track the progress to see if it was going to hold up, and it seems to have worked really nicely, and it's automatically waterproof, so that's kind of cool too. So that is all for my questions. Thank you guys so much for participating. That was super fun. And I hope you guys liked this. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit the little bell. I have fake tanner on my hands, that's embarrassing. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get notifications for when I post a new video, and happy crafting.